Can we talk about these earrings for a minute? The Dior ones. I like this side better because it looks like that's the dot. My other piercing is like the dotted eye. Hello everybody! Everybody! Yeah! Rock your body! Okay. Did you get secondhand embarrassment from watching that? So today we're going to be doing a blush declutter. And I threw in a couple face palettes because I only have like 3 face palettes into the mix. Thanks guys, we'll get right into it.
What are you doing?
A declutter video. This is the City Colors Be Matte Blush Palette, and I got it because it was a trio. It's small and thin and it kind of traveled well. Plus I liked mixing the 3 colors together and getting a unique shade. Next was the Cover FX Monochromatic Blush Duo. One side's matte and one side shimmer. And it's in Mojave Mauve, and I really like this one. So I'm putting it in the maybe pile. Next up is one that came like in an Ulta gift pack, and I really liked the colors, but they didn't really show up on me for some reason. So I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this. This was actually given to me by a friend, and I was wondering if maybe she had the same problem with them not showing up on her because she's kind of fair-skinned as well, and which is why maybe she gave that to me. Editing Rachel here. I just wanted to show you my Ukraine bracelet up close. And I wanted to share with you that it's an Etsy shop. Blocking out my address, but Snuggles and Peanut, it's the Etsy shop. And normally they supply up 50% of their profits to go to World Kitchen. And this time they're going to be giving 100% of their profits to help those in Ukraine. So I just thought that was amazing. It's Snuggles and Peanuts, and I will link it below. Okay, back to your regularly scheduled programming. This is from The Balm. It is Cabana Boy. And look how teeny tiny that is. I'm just not interested in trying to get blush out of that little thing. So gonna declutter that one as well. Next up is a mineral blush in Autumn Glow by Bella P. Air Cosmetics. I got this in an Ipsy bag. I really do like it. It's freaking messy, so I'm like deciding on whether or not I want to keep it, but I really do like it as like an autumn color or like a natural kind of looking blush. It's very nice, so I'm going to put that in my maybe pile. The next step is a little Tarte Amazonian Clay 12-hour blush. I forgot to look at the color of that and I already pitched it, but it didn't hardly show up. So here's another one of those. This one is an Feisty Amazonian Clay 12-hour blush. I do like this one, so I think I'm gonna hold on to this one at least for a little bit longer. So actually, if you missed the sleight of hand, this is now my keep pile, and I don't have any maybes. This one is another Tarte. This was the full size one and just wasn't showing up on me. This one's in Glisten. And so, I don't know. I think I have similar colors. I just decided to go ahead and declutter that one. Plus, it's kind of got like a shimmeriness to it, and I'm trying to shy away from that since I have so much texture. Oh, actually, I put that in my maybe pile, I guess. This is the Dandelion by Benefit blush, and it was like chalky. Do you see that? Like chunk. So then I felt like I wasn't giving it the benefit of the doubt, so I went and I washed my hand off and arm off and tried again. And it was still like super chalky and chunky, and when you have texture you really don't need that, so I just decided to get rid of that one. Next was a Clinique one. I hate those damn brushes, they're so little. I got it like as a sample, and I give it a chance because sometimes they spray, like I don't know if they spray something on there or what, but it's like until you get that top coating off it's hard to get the color to show. But I just really wasn't vibing with that one very much, so I decided to put it in my maybe pile and think about it a little bit more. This one I was really surprised with. I got it in an Ipsy bag as well. It was lychee and gold. It was like a rose blush color, and it felt like cream. Like it was the weirdest sensation because it was powdery, but it felt like really creamy and buttery and velvety to the touch. I really liked that part of it, but I just wasn't really digging the color, and I haven't really used it that much, so I decided to go ahead and declutter that one as well. Okay, next was like a shimmery Becca blush. It was like a cream blush and had some gold flecks in it. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this just because it's really old and it's kind of like dried out. I did use it a lot when I first got it, but I don't know. It smelled kind of stinky. So I thought it was time to get rid of it. Plus, I don't even think Becca's around anymore, so I'm not even gonna worry about that. Here's another one that came in an Ipsy bag. And it was really dark. Really don't see me wearing that as a blush. I kind of thought it might be cool as like a eyeshadow and stuff, and I was thinking about it, but I'm like, you know, I have so many eyeshadows already that I decided just to let it go. This one's NARS and it's Deep Throat, and it's really old, but it honestly, it's so light, it doesn't really show up. And I figure it's probably expired, so I've had it for quite some time, so I decided I'd put that in my maybe pile and think about it a little bit, but probably gonna get rid of that one. Next up is a sample card, and I've been holding on to this and I always forget to use it, and I wasn't sure it's buxom, but this first color is almost like that, reminiscent of that Steve Laurent one. It's just a little bit too dark. Might be a nice eyeshadow, but that second color, that coral color, I just really like that, but I don't know. Maybe I'll hang on to it. I just don't know. Yeah, hanging on to it. Okay, this is from Arbonne. I went to a party years and years ago and got this. I know it's expired. It was like a hot pink color, and it was like kind of bumpy because I think, like I said, I think it's expired, and it's not really a color that I would wear anymore. See how it's kind of got like bumps and stuff, and I don't know if you can see that. So I'm gonna go ahead and declutter that one. It's time for it to go bye-bye. This one's by Milani. It's like a rose-shaped one, and it is in the color Coral Cove. This one was well-loved, used and abused, but I'm not sure. I think it might be getting a little bit old, so I'm going to think about that one as well. Might be time to move on from that. This one, I don't think I've ever even used that. It's like a bouncy Dream Bounce. It's in the color Peach Satin. I don't know. I kind of want to play with it a little bit first before I decide whether I get rid of it or not, but it's kind of weird. I'm going to keep that for now. Next up is a Physicians Formula Butter Blush. Oh my gosh, this thing has one of those stupid brushes in it that I hate. Whoops. Okay, anyway. Look how little the thing, like the tray is. I mean, the circumference is big, but it's not very thick. And this doesn't show up hardly at all. It smells amazing. I mean, it's kind of gotten doing that chunky thing like the Dandelion one did. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and declare that one as well. Next we have the Milani Baked Blush. It's the Coralina Baked Powder Blush. And it has a little bit of this flecks of gold in it too, but I don't mind it as much as I do some of the really shimmery ones. So I think I'm gonna put that one in my maybe pile. And the more I thought about it, the more it kind of put me in mind of the other Milani one I was getting rid of, but without, like, that one didn't have the shimmer in it like the baked one did. Next up is Berry Amore, and it's a baked powder blush by Milani as well. And I've used this one to death. I really like this color, and it comes with one of those stupid brushes, I think, too, but I must have already gotten rid of that one. So this one, like the sparkly's kind of gone away from it, and I think maybe there was like more towards the top, or like as I've used it, it's kind of like lost its shimmer. If you look down in there, you can kind of see it's like not as glittery as it is like around the outside edges. So that's kind of nice because I don't need a lot of glitter showing all the wrinkles. And end up deciding that I'm going to go ahead and hold on to both of these baked blushes because I just really do like them, and they travel really nicely in my suitcase and I don't have to have a bunch of blush. So lastly is another baked blush by Milani. This one was in Rose d'Oro, and yep, there's that damn brush. Okay. It's not really showing up, is it? And it kind of reminds me of that one, like the fall one, the autumn one that I got in my Ipsy bag. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and declutter that one. Next, I know I'm keeping all of these. I absolutely love these. And I think it's because they're liquid, and so they make my skin look a lot better than like a powder blush does. I just recently started using these last year, and I really do like them. You just kind of use a tiny bit, the littlest bit. That one is in nude blush, and that is the Kiss Cheek Liquid Blush by Milani. Next up, 140. That is Rose Romance, and that's also the liquid blush. And I just like this, like when I put them on my face, I just kind of pat them on into my foundation. It just looks so much more natural and pretty and not like matted or cake face. And the last one I am going to show you that I have is Berry Smooch, and it's a liquid blush. I haven't used this one as much as the other ones. It's a little bit darker than I normally do, but I've also used this as like a lip stain, and I've really liked using it that way. I keep them in this little glass thing with the bottom down, like the squeezer down. That way all the product goes to the bottom, and when I squeeze them, they don't splatter all over me. Here we have a Profusion blush palette. You can get these at Walmart. This is the Blush 2. Okay, I think this is where things start to get a little bit chaotic because people kept coming in and talking to me, and I didn't realize you couldn't really see me doing the swatches very well. But the first color is Pink Star, and it's kind of a shimmery color. The second color is called Lovely, and it's definitely a matte, but it kind of put me in mind of the Arbonne one I had. But then when I like swatched them side by side, the Arbonne one is definitely more of a light pink, and I feel like the color Lovely in the Profusion blush palette is definitely more wearable. The next color in there is Captivate, and it's a little dark too. I don't know if I would really wear that on its own. And then Harmony, and it is a, I would say, satin blush. It's very pretty. Next up is Smitten, and it is definitely a shimmery blush. I love my corals and stuff. I don't know, I'm crazy. Lastly is Lovejoy, and I'd say it's a matte. Definitely a matte. Those, I feel like the two are similar. So like the top two, like the middle two, and the last two. I don't know if that makes any sense. Anyway, keeping that one. Next up is the Too Faced Natural Face Palette, and I really like this one. I already know I'm going to keep it. But a lot of the colors in here are a lot more like highlighters than actual blush, or you could even use them as like blush toppers. The first one is Starlight. Like I said, I am not doing a very good job of showing you these colors. And then Pink Wink. This is where I realized I wasn't showing you a darn thing, so I washed my arm off and started over with the colors. Like I said, that first one was in Starlight. That second one is in Pink Wink.
What's a declutter video?
The third one is Sunny Honey. Gonna try to get that to show up a little bit darker. I think you could use that as a bronzer. Might look a little muddy, I don't know. Next up is Satin Sheets. Then Pink Sand. And last but not least, it's Tropic Like It's Hot. I really like that one. Could definitely use that as a blingy bronzer. And this palette smells amazing also, if I didn't mention that earlier. But I wanted to show you, so that Arbonne one that I had, I thought looked like that other one. It's more similar to the one that's the Pink Wink and the Too Faced palette. It's pretty similar. The Too Faced palette's just a little bit darker. So here are the ones I've decided to declutter. Some will go to my daughter, some will go in the trash. And my maybe pile, I decided to go through it. And I don't know what happened. My battery died, I think, and I missed part of the footage. But I ended up getting rid of everything in the maybe pile. And these are the ones that I ended up keeping. And I only kept 11 in total. Since I only have like 3 face palettes, we'll go through those. This one's the Physicians Formula All-Star Face Palette. And it has 6 of their best sellers in it. And the first two are like bronzers. They're more matte. Then the top 2 are more like pearly, the next 2. And then the one is a face powder and the Happy Blush right there, which I've had that in the past and used it all. Really like that one. So started with the blush. Didn't really show up. Let's try it again. There you go. Okay. And the powder. Next is the powder pearls. And the bronzer. This palette smells amazing, by the way, if I didn't tell you yet. This bronzer shows up a little bit better than the other one. I like that one. Okay, I'm gonna hold on to this. This was given to me by a friend, and I haven't had a chance to play with it enough yet, so I want to keep it. And this I know I'm keeping too. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills face palette, and I'm still getting a lot of use out of this. It's nice to use as contour and highlight palette. I know I'm not all those skin tones, but when I get darker in the summer, I can mix and kind of like come up with a formula that matches. Last is the shade and light palette, and I'm going to go ahead and declutter this. As you can see, it's the original OG one, and it is long overdue to be tossed. Okay, it's editing Rachel again. I just wanted to take a minute to apologize for like how chaotic this video turned out, and I don't know how to say that, the audio, I guess, because it's really hard to record with a house full of people and a baby. So I'm sorry. It gets very loud, quiet. There's baby toys screaming in the background. So I'll do what I can. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out, Girl Scout.